Ladies and gentlemen, Trump is playing not only the media, but especially the Democratic Party in such a brilliant way. It's hilarious and it's kind of sad. They've spent 2 years. 2 years. You just wait until the Mueller probe finds out that Trump was working with Putin to buy Facebook ads. You just wait. Now, Trump backs public release of Mueller report, NPR. Amid signs that Special Counsel Robert Mueller will soon complete his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, President Trump says that he looks forward to seeing the report and that it should be made public. Well, why not? Look, he didn't become a real estate mogul. He didn't become president. He didn't become successful in Hollywood by not understanding strategy. The guy is head and shoulders above the Democratic Party in terms of not only intelligence, but strategy. He understands. There's a lot of mistakes he's made, fine. A lot of statements he shouldn't have made, fine. But he is like, it's like you have middle schoolers saying, you worked with Russia to buy Facebook ads. And Trump, who's like, look, I can declassify everything I need to eventually once I have an attorney general. And oh, by the way, White House expects to see Mueller findings before they go to Congress. CNN, March 18, 2019. So today, he's saying, yeah, everyone should look at the Mueller probe. That's after he looks at it. The DOJ is going to rewrite and summarize the Mueller probe. That's what he told Dianne Feinstein. When William Barr was when he was going through confirmation hearings, he told Dianne Feinstein, look, DOJ policy is that we're going to look at the Mueller report, and anybody who is not indicted, if it's an American citizen, we can keep that classified or summarize that to protect the privacy of Americans who aren't indicted. Trump's not going to be indicted. Want to know why? Because he didn't commit any crimes. You won't hear like a James Comey type of, well, he did work with Russia, but he didn't mean to. There was a fraud committed, but he didn't mean to. No. With Clinton, Comey said there are violations of legal statutes, but we can't find intent. You don't even need intent. And by the way, the whole point of having private servers outside of the United States government is an overt attempt at hiding your communication. Anyway, again, White House lawyers expect to have an opportunity to review whatever version of Robert Mueller's report Attorney General Bill Barr submits to Congress before it reaches lawmakers and the public. This is CNN. The attorneys want the White House to have an opportunity to claim executive privilege over information drawn from documents and interviews. You think a conservative Supreme Court and you think a Justice Department with William Barr is going to give congressional Democrats everything they've wanted after 2 years of a Mueller probe that was the work of people who tried to oust a president, Rod Rosenstein. Hey, Mr. President, how are you? Can you speak in this mic? 25th Amendment to try to oust him. Oh my God, his personality is so horrendous. We need the 25th Amendment. I don't know if he's sane and lucid. Nonsense. They lost. They had to save face. They lost $1.2 billion. In 2015, I said Clinton would lose. In endless writing, she did. I didn't need any Facebook ads. CNN, again, White House lawyers expect to have an opportunity to review whatever version of Robert Mueller's report Attorney General Bill Barr submits to Congress before it reaches lawmakers and the public. Before it reaches lawmakers and the public, Democrats. How you like them apples? Sorry. Oopsie. Guess those, what if Mueller finds this, and Mueller can find that, and Trump's gonna get indicted, and Didn't happen. Number one, he didn't commit any crimes. There was no, nobody conspired to work with Russia. That is so stupid. That's ridiculous and absurd. and there's no evidence to back it up, and you have Andrew McCabe under criminal investigation, and you have James Baker under criminal investigation, and you have James Comey who lied under oath, and you have people like John McCain in the Republican Party working alongside Democrats. You have people like Jeff Sessions in the Republican Party and Trump's own administration, along with Rod Rosenstein, who, when they had a chance to form a special counsel, they picked John Huber, who's playing golf someplace. It's the days where Trump's on the defensive are over. Watch this channel, share these segments everywhere. I work from public record knowledge. This is CNN. I'm using their own sources against them because this is actually the way you should analyze a CNN article. White House lawyers expect to have an opportunity to review whatever version of Robert Mueller's report Attorney General Bill Barr submits to Congress before it reaches lawmakers and the public. That should be one of the most beautiful sentences you hear all year. White House lawyers expect to have an opportunity to review whatever version of Robert Mueller's report Attorney General Bill Barr submits to Congress before it reaches lawmakers and the public. If it was Sessions, it would have been like, Mr. President, I don't think that it's fair that I look at it. So what I think we're going to do is Bill Barr is going to be live streaming his actual, Robert Mueller is going to be live streaming his actual writing of the Mueller probe. And we're going to have CNN journalists, and we're going to have everybody there. It'll be fantastic. And we'll have Deborah Wasserman Schultz and everybody help him write the report because it's only fair. And Hillary Clinton will be there too. I think that's the only thing we can do. No, I'm not going to rewrite it and give it to Congress. What do you think, I'm working for Trump? You think I'm actually an attorney general? No. And we'll have Huber go ahead and give the finished copy directly to House Democrats without even Trump looking at it, not even 1 iota of 1 millisecond of 1 nanosecond. Sorry, President Trump. Recuse myself from life. That's what would have happened. If it was Jeff Sessions, it would have been like, sorry, I just have to be fair. That's done with love. So, of course, Trump wants the Mueller report out. Wouldn't you? If you get to look at it before everyone else, and then they loved it, they're like, oh, Trump is so, he's an ignoramus. Who's president? Who's president? You know, they're like, oh, you know, we're the smartest people in the room. Oh, they won't even vote on a Green New Deal resolution that they say is so ambitious because it's not even feasible. It's not feasible to implement. And this is what their claim to fame is. And then they have this, like, it is a cult. It is a giant, like, thought. It's like this cult where the most immoral people are now preaching about morality. Because they're like the new televangelists, except it's not about religion now. It's their own version of religion. It's this pseudo-intellectual groupthink where all of these, like, theories regarding victimization and this grotesque viewpoint of what fair or what you know, you're a racist and you're this and but Hillary Clinton's not, even though she referred actually to black youth as super predators, which is disgusting and insidious, but she did that. That's fine. And if you're a liberal or a progressive pundit and you have a blog post that is homophobic or racist, you're going to be forgiven. If you're fired from a cable station because of a tweet, well, oh my God, you know, it must be, you know, the big bad people on the right. But if it's anyone else, a tweet, you lose your show, you lose your life, you're ostracized from humanity. One set of rules for the left, one set of rules for everyone else. Money flowed into the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal. You cannot, there's not one shred of evidence. Well, what about the servers that she used? And she deleted emails. And she obviously used servers outside of the United States government because she was hiding pay-to-play schemes. Not one shred of evidence. Well, Vladimir Putin met with Bill Clinton as it was going down, as money flowed into the Clinton Foundation. Vladimir Putin, they're like Trump's contacts. What about the contact called Vladimir Putin? He, according to Newsweek and The Hill, it's public record knowledge, he met with Vladimir Putin. Not one shred of evidence. What about the $500,000 from a Moscow investment bank? That was a coincidence? Not one shred of evidence. Yellowcake uranium, according to the New York Times, was shipped out of the country as Robert Mueller was the FBI director under President Obama, who was apparently so tough on the Russians that he allowed yellowcake uranium to be shipped to Canada. Not one shred of evidence. You can't prove anything. So money actually going into the Clinton Foundation and President Obama refusing to veto a deal where they get 20% of U.S. uranium capacity is fine. Yes, it was just a business transaction. You can't prove anything. Well, why did you indict Mueller? He purchased an ostrich feather jacket 20 years ago, and he committed crimes 10 years ago. What does that have to do with Trump-Russia collusion? He did a lot of bad things. What does that have to do with Trump? 34 indictments. Anything to do with Trump-Russia? A lot of contacts. What about meeting Vladimir Putin? No, a lot of contacts and indictments. And look. They're deceiving themselves while trying to dupe everyone else. It's not working because everyone looks at them and laughs. The majority of the country, the majority of independents, and they need independence for 2020. They're not going to do well in 2020. Clinton's going to run again, but that's another story. The majority of independents, the majority of Americans don't believe that Trump worked with Russia, and actually believe that he's the subject or target of a witch hunt. So there you go. And this, by the way, it's like the Democrats have to work with every single possible advantage. Every single possible advantage, or else, imagine they don't have a political party. Hollywood, media, late night, CNN, MSNBC, all Washington Post, New York Times, you have to have they're virtually unanimous in their singular contempt for Trump. And still he's doing well. They can't touch the guy. Now, if he was actually committing crimes, I'd be the first, because my channel would be, if he was committing crimes right now, my channel would be at 500,000 subs. Because if I, I'm the type of person, I'll obsess over crimes being committed by Hillary Clinton because she actually did commit crimes. But if Trump actually did commit crimes, I would obsess over that. I'm not it's just what the evidence speaks for itself. You have Clinton with a private servers outside the U.S. government, overt pay-to-play schemes, money flowing into the Clinton Foundation, beneficial treatment taking place. It's so obvious. When it all goes down, eventually she'll get indicted, but when it all goes down, people will say, oh, well, we knew this all along. No, I was saying this all along. And any detractors that I have, like I always say, if a person is judged by their detractors, there's nothing much to say about me. The people who don't like me, they're the biggest clowns and imbeciles on the planet. He's a lunatic. Looks like he got hit by a tractor. Anyway, the point is, people are not talking about how she's going to get indicted. I'm like the only person, I think, in politics or in media or in YouTube or that actually saying she will get indicted eventually. Because of public record evidence and knowledge. I don't have super secret MySpace. It's absurd. That's ridiculous. So he wants the Mueller probe he wants the Mueller probe out in the open because he's going to alter it. That's what's pretty much going to happen. And it's going to be hilarious. He's just going to be like, no, you're right. No, you know. He's like, that's good. You can have it, everyone. No problem. Hit subscribe to this channel. You definitely want to watch this channel throughout this year and next year and beyond for Trump's second term. You can dislike Trump. You could like Trump. You could dislike me. You could like me. The evidence is the evidence. Like I said, if he actually committed crimes, I'd be all over it. And if there was evidence aside from a Steele dossier that was purchased by Clinton and a CrowdStrike assessment that a company that was outsourced by Democrats, if there was actually evidence of foul play, it would be great. But there's actually, it's the opposite, actually. The foul play and the criminal behavior and the corruption is all on the Democratic Party side. And I said this in the lead up to the 2016 election. And they don't understand. They don't get it. People on the left, on Twitter especially, they're like, oh my God, it's happening again. It's happening again. You know, there are these people who hate the Democratic Party within the Democratic Party. Yeah, because it's imploding by the weight of its own corruption. There are only so many lies and grandiose fantasies that you can impose upon people. Eventually, people will have enough. They're not even trying to impeach Trump. They're not trying to vote on Medicare for all bills. They have one goal, one simple goal, to acquire as much political power and influence as possible. And everyone sees that. Democrats have no leader. Clinton will eventually run again. I'm telling you, she'll be like, you want me? You want me to run again? But what about Amy Klobuchar? Isn't it cute that she ate salad with a comb? I found that endearing. No, her. No, not her. What about Elizabeth Warren? She failed her DNA test. It was a valiant thing. No, you want me, Hillary? What about Beto with his wonderful poetry and his disgusting fantasies? What about, Ian Hale or Spartacus or all that? Who do you think they're going to roll with? Biden? Biden doesn't want to be president. What makes anyone think Biden wants to be president? He's old. He's older than Hillary, and he's been there for 8 years. He's tired. He wants to relax. Let the guy relax. The day after Hillary, they said, she's not running again. Literally not even the day after, Maggie Haberman of the New York Times said, well, she didn't want to close the door. She's waiting for the Mueller report. She's playing everyone. And first of all, when that person's lips move, they're not telling the truth. So I love when people are like, she said she wasn't. Oh, she did? Oh, well, she's known as the most honest person of all time. In fact, the New York Times actually published a piece, why Clinton needs to be two-faced. Here, let's go ahead and, you don't believe me? You don't believe me? Let's go ahead if you don't believe me. You don't believe me, huh? You don't believe me, huh? No, H.A. Oh, look. Why Hillary Clinton needs to be two-faced. This is from the New York Times, the sister paper of Democracy Dies in Darkness. We've counted 8,000 billion Trump lies. What happened to... This is a post-truth moment. Why Hillary Clinton needs to be two-faced. And it goes, it's hilarious. And it goes on to say that, gosh, she can't really give you... Yet give credit where credit is due. An experienced political negotiator and former chief diplomat, she understands that hypocrisy and two-facedness, when prudently harnessed to advance negotiations or avert conflicts, are a public good and a public necessity. The left will say it's a public necessity to lie if it's Clinton. But with Trump, It's like, oh my God, the post-truth moment. Anyway, hit subscribe. Trump's playing all of them, and it's kind of hilarious. Hit subscribe right now. Check out HA2A below and my writing in the Federalist, the Daily Caller, and the Jerusalem Post.